The rap world is officially in chaos, and fans are shocked. Sources are claiming that Drake just suffered a massive $10 million loss after none other than Kendrick Lamar reportedly dropped a brutal diss that's shaking the industry to its core. According to insiders, this isn't just a typical rap feud. This is a multi-million-dollar, career-altering bombshell that has executives sweating, collaborators panicking, and Drake himself reportedly reconsidering every move he's ever made. Emotions ran high behind closed doors, with team members allegedly yelling over leaked financials and social media screenshots, arguing about how one track could cost a superstar this much. The family was left divided, friends were scrambling to mediate, and fans are losing their minds over the unfolding drama. What allegedly went down? Sources claim Kendrick unleashed a verse so sharp, so personal, that it reportedly exposed Drake's business deals, investments, and hidden losses, causing major ripple effects in the music world. Studio insiders tell us that people close to Drake were in absolute shock, some even calling it the most humiliating moment in his career. Social media exploded within minutes, with theories flying, memes circulating, and debates raging about whether this was a genius move from Kendrick or a catastrophic misstep for Drake. And here's where it gets even crazier. Our insiders suggest that this diss may have triggered a chain reaction involving record labels, sponsorships, and private investors. Industry insiders reportedly say meetings were held in secret, deals were renegotiated, and tempers flared, all while fans tried to piece together what exactly went wrong. By the time the news hit mainstream outlets, the story had already gone viral, leaving everyone asking the same question. How could one track possibly cost Drake $10 million? Stay tuned, because what we're about to break down is insane. Inside sources, private texts, secret meetings, and shocking reactions from family, friends, and fans alike. You won't believe what allegedly happened behind the scenes. The aftermath of Kendrick Lamar's alleged diss track reportedly sent shockwaves through Drake's camp like nothing anyone could have anticipated. Sources claim that within hours of the track dropping, the rapper's team scrambled to assess the financial damage, and the numbers they saw allegedly made jaws drop. One insider told us it wasn't just a hit to his pride, it was a literal $10 million blow. Contracts, sponsorships, streaming projections, everything got impacted overnight. According to our sources, the moment Drake's team realized the extent of the losses, emotions ran high. Staff members were allegedly yelling at each other over conference calls, while managers reportedly frantically tried to salvage deals that were on the brink of collapse. Friends close to Drake claim that he spent the entire day in his private studio, pacing and reviewing text messages, trying to figure out how something as simple as a diss track could cost him millions. Reports say that Kendrick's verse was strategically aimed at Drake's investments, with alleged subliminal jabs referencing projects that had gone wrong or deals that didn't pan out. Insiders suggest that the lyrics included lines referencing unnamed business ventures, hidden properties, and even some of Drake's lesser-known collaborations. Friends of Kendrick allegedly revealed that he spent weeks researching Drake's portfolio, not just musically, but financially, crafting a track designed to hit both his reputation and his bank account. One source close to Kendrick allegedly said, "This wasn't just a rap battle, it was precision targeting. He knew exactly where to hit." Fans reportedly went wild online, dissecting every line of the diss, some claiming they could hear Drake's financial skeletons being laid bare in a way they had never imagined. Meanwhile, Drake's family reportedly became heavily involved in damage control. Sources claim that his parents and siblings were furious, allegedly confronting some members of his management team for letting the situation escalate to such a catastrophic level. One insider said, "It was a full-blown family intervention. People were shouting, phones were thrown, and the air was tense enough to cut with a knife. They wanted to know how something like this could have been allowed to happen." According to our sources, the family was divided. Some wanted Drake to respond immediately with a public statement, while others advised complete silence, fearing that any reaction could worsen the situation. Adding fuel to the fire, insiders suggest that some of Drake's collaborators were panicking behind the scenes. Producers, co-writers, and featured artists reportedly called in, asking if they should step back from upcoming projects. "People were scared," one source said. They didn't want to be associated with a guy who just lost $10 million publicly. It's unprecedented. Everyone in the room was jittery. Friends of Drake allegedly said he had never looked so serious, reportedly canceling social appearances, delaying studio sessions, and spending hours on calls with advisors trying to figure out the fallout strategy. The social media storm was reportedly immediate and intense. Fans across TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube allegedly dissected every bar of Kendrick's track, creating threads, reaction videos, and deep dives into Drake's finances. Some supporters of Kendrick reportedly celebrated the diss as a masterstroke, while Drake's fanbase allegedly tried to defend him, claiming the lyrics were exaggerated or misinterpreted. According to insiders, emotions ran high, and the online debate allegedly contributed to the panic within Drake's camp, making it clear that the financial damage was only part of the problem. The public perception was rapidly spiraling out of control. Sources claim that some of Drake's advisors tried to downplay the situation publicly, suggesting that the $10 million figure was inflated or speculative. Privately, however, insiders say the team was reportedly frantically recalculating projected losses, trying to determine which deals could be saved, renegotiated, or pulled entirely. According to one source, it was chaos behind the scenes. Nobody knew what to do. Contracts were being reviewed in minutes, calls were flying back and forth, and everyone was on edge. Friends of Drake allegedly confirmed that the rapper himself was unusually quiet, spending hours thinking strategically, pacing, and weighing whether he should respond in music, through a public statement, or leave it completely silent. Adding another layer of tension, insiders claim that Kendrick's camp allegedly reached out to certain industry executives privately to gauge reactions. Sources suggest that several high-profile producers and label heads reportedly confirmed that the diss had caught Drake off guard, and that the financial damage could be real and immediate. Some executives allegedly even privately joked that it was the smartest diss in the last decade, noting that it attacked both Drake's credibility and his business portfolio. Friends of Kendrick reportedly said he had planned the move meticulously, waiting for the perfect moment to release the track, just when Drake had major upcoming projects and sponsorship campaigns that could be affected. Meanwhile, Drake allegedly held emergency meetings with his inner circle. Sources claim tempers flared, arguments broke out, and at least one team member reportedly walked out in frustration. According to insiders, the rapper himself was laser-focused, but visibly stressed, reportedly muttering under his breath. How did this happen? How did Kendrick know? Friends say that he spent hours reviewing streaming numbers, contract details, and projected earnings to understand the full extent of the $10 million loss, while simultaneously trying to figure out a plan for public perception. Fans were reportedly relentless, digging through social media, old interviews, and music to piece together every possible reference. Some claim to have uncovered hidden hints in Drake's prior tracks that Kendrick allegedly referenced in his diss, fueling speculation that this feud had been brewing for months behind the scenes. Theories ran wild online, and memes allegedly began circulating, suggesting that Drake had financial skeletons exposed, with some fans even joking about a multi-million-dollar musical takedown. According to insiders, the intensity of fan reactions reportedly exacerbated the pressure on Drake and his team, as everyone felt the eyes of the world were now squarely on them. Sources also claim that private texts and calls between Drake and his managers allegedly revealed panic and disbelief. One insider shared that a manager reportedly texted, "We have to fix this before it spirals," to which Drake allegedly responded, I know, but how?" Friends close to the rapper allegedly described him as being unusually contemplative, rarely showing his usual confidence, as he grappled with both financial loss and the threat to his reputation. Family members reportedly monitored his stress closely, reportedly trying to keep him calm while also demanding that a plan be in place. Industry insiders reportedly noted that some sponsors and investors allegedly called Drake directly, expressing concern over the diss track's impact. Sources say that several major deals were reportedly on hold, while executives assessed the potential backlash, with some even threatening to pull funding if public perception continued to shift. Friends of Drake allegedly said that the rapper spent long hours strategizing with his financial advisors, trying to quantify not just the immediate $10 million loss, but the potential domino effect across future earnings and partnerships. Meanwhile, Kendrick's team allegedly celebrated the strategic brilliance of the diss. Sources claim that friends of the rapper were reportedly texting and calling each other in excitement, describing the moment as a masterstroke and the perfect mix of lyrical skill and financial sabotage. Some insiders allegedly suggested that Kendrick had anticipated Drake's next moves, and that the diss was timed to coincide with Drake's financial reporting and upcoming album campaigns. Fans reportedly went wild on social media, claiming it was the biggest clapback of the decade, and sharing clips, memes, and analysis that spread virally. Adding to the drama, insiders claim that Drake's family reportedly debated whether to make a public statement. Some suggested addressing the financial rumors directly, while others warned that doing so could legitimize Kendrick's diss and escalate the feud further. Friends allegedly described arguments that lasted hours, with tempers flaring, phones being slammed, and voices raised. One insider said, "It was tense. People were crying, shouting, pacing. The family was divided. Nobody knew what the right move was, and every decision felt like it could make things worse." At the same time, social media reports allegedly suggested that other artists in the industry were weighing in, some subtly, others more directly. Sources say that a few well-known rappers reportedly posted cryptic lines on Instagram and Twitter, fueling speculation that they were commenting on Drake's financial fallout or lending tacit support to Kendrick. Friends of Drake reportedly said that he noticed these subtle digs and became more focused on damage control, consulting PR teams and strategists on how to navigate both public perception and the media narrative. Industry insiders allegedly claimed that the financial fallout was unprecedented for a single diss track. One source said, "I've seen rap beefs before, but never anything that hits both an artist's pride and bank account this hard. People are talking millions being at risk, sponsors reconsidering deals, and streams fluctuating in real time. The stakes are insane." Friends of Drake reportedly admitted that even they had never seen him as tense as during the aftermath of this diss, describing long nights in the studio filled with calculations, strategy calls, and private meetings. The drama reportedly escalated further when insiders claimed that Kendrick allegedly hinted at a potential follow-up, suggesting that the diss was only the beginning of a larger plan. Sources say that Drake's team reportedly became increasingly concerned, debating whether to preemptively release a statement or wait for Kendrick's next move. Friends of the rapper allegedly said that the uncertainty was almost unbearable, as they tried to balance protecting Drake's reputation, mitigating financial damage, and maintaining artistic credibility. Even fans reportedly became part of the drama. Social media threads allegedly exploded with speculation, some claiming insider knowledge, others dissecting every lyric of the diss for hidden financial references. Memes, reaction videos, and deep dives allegedly flooded the platforms, creating a sense of worldwide tension. One insider described it as like the entire rap world was holding its breath, waiting to see if Drake could recover from what just happened. Just when it seemed like the chaos couldn't get any worse, insiders claim the situation reportedly took a turn for the dramatic behind closed doors. Sources suggest that Drake allegedly called an emergency meeting with his closest advisors and business managers, reportedly in a private Lowe's Angel studio late at night. Emotions were reportedly running high, and tempers flared almost immediately. One insider described the scene. People were pacing, phones were flying, and there was shouting that echoed down the hall. Nobody had ever seen Drake this tense. He was muttering under his breath, running numbers over and over, trying to understand how a single track could cost him $10 million. Friends allegedly told us he hadn't slept for 2 nights straight, caught between the financial damage and the public humiliation that social media had already amplified. Meanwhile, Kendrick's camp allegedly went into full celebration mode. Insiders claim they were reportedly thrilled by the immediate ripple effects, noting that streaming numbers for the diss track had skyrocketed within hours. "It was genius timing," one source said. "Kendrick knew exactly when to drop the track to maximize both impact and exposure. He wasn't just taking shots at Drake's pride, he was hitting his wallet. Friends of Kendrick allegedly added that the diss track wasn't a random hit. It was calculated, researched, and delivered in a way that insiders say could have long-term consequences for Drake's financial and artistic empire. Fans reportedly started sharing breakdowns of every lyric, debating the implications for Drake's investments and rumored sponsorship deals. And the online conversation reportedly dominated every platform overnight. Sources claim that the leak of Drake's financial vulnerability reportedly caused panic across his entire team. One insider said, "The managers were calling each other nonstop, trying to figure out what was public, what was speculation, and how to respond. It was chaos. Everyone was asking the same question: is this going to ruin Drake?" According to our sources, the tension was so high that one executive allegedly stormed out of a meeting, reportedly yelling, "This isn't just a diss, it's a total disaster." Friends allegedly confirmed that Drake himself was unusually quiet, secluding himself in his private studio to regroup, while family members debated whether to intervene publicly. Adding to the drama, insiders claim that the rapper's family reportedly got involved to mediate what they saw as both a personal and financial crisis. Some family members allegedly pushed for a public apology or statement to calm investors, while others reportedly urged total silence, arguing that any acknowledgement would give Kendrick more power. One source described a particularly heated family discussion. Voices were raised, phones were slammed, and emotions were spilling over. The room was divided, with some shouting and others trying to calm everyone down. People were crying, pacing, it was unreal. Nobody knew how to respond, and everyone was terrified of making the wrong move. According to insiders, this family conflict allegedly compounded the stress for Drake, who was reportedly trying to remain strategic amidst chaos. Meanwhile, social media reportedly exploded in real time, as fans dissected every bar of Kendrick's diss. Sources say that hashtags trending worldwide included every possible combination of Drake's and Kendrick's names, along with speculative phrases about financial fallout. Memes flooded platforms, many depicting Drake losing money or appearing shocked, while some fans celebrated Kendrick's strategy as a masterstroke. According to insiders, the sheer speed and intensity of social media reactions reportedly added pressure to Drake's camp, as public perception started to influence real-world sponsorships and partnerships almost immediately. In addition, insiders claim that private messages between Drake and his managers allegedly revealed panic and disbelief. One source reportedly obtained screenshots showing Drake texting late at night. "I can't believe this. How did he even know?" Followed by a flurry of replies from advisors calculating potential losses and damage control strategies. Friends reportedly described Drake as unusually subdued, pacing for hours, taking calls from lawyers, and reviewing contracts to assess the financial impact of what some insiders call the most devastating diss in recent history. The tension, they said, was palpable, and the uncertainty surrounding the next steps only intensified the drama. Meanwhile, reports suggest that Kendrick's team allegedly leaked subtle hints online, creating even more speculation. Insiders claim they posted cryptic messages on social media, referencing "exposing the truth" and "timing is everything," sparking debates among fans and industry insiders alike. According to sources, Drake's camp reportedly noticed the posts immediately, further fueling anxiety over whether another diss or public move might follow. Friends allegedly said that Drake spent hours analyzing the posts, consulting PR experts, and preparing for every potential scenario, from legal disputes to public statements. Sources claim that sponsors and investors reportedly started contacting Drake directly, expressing concern over the diss track's impact. Some allegedly asked for reassurance, while others reportedly hinted at renegotiating or delaying deals. Friends of Drake reportedly said the rapper held long, stressful meetings with his financial team, trying to quantify not just the immediate $10 million loss, but the potential domino effect on streaming, partnerships, and upcoming album campaigns. Insiders say this added an entirely new level of pressure, as Drake tried to balance artistic credibility, public perception, and business strategy simultaneously. At the same time, insiders claim that members of Kendrick's inner circle reportedly celebrated what they saw as a strategic victory. According to sources, they described the diss as precision-guided and carefully researched, aimed at maximizing both public reaction and financial impact. Friends allegedly confirmed that Kendrick had spent weeks preparing the track, consulting with industry experts, and timing its release perfectly to coincide with Drake's financial reporting and project launches. Fans reportedly interpreted this as proof that the diss wasn't just musical. It was a calculated blow to Drake's empire, and the online community allegedly amplified every detail within minutes. Meanwhile, private industry discussions reportedly revealed that other artists were weighing in, some subtly, others more overtly. Insiders claim that a few high-profile rappers posted cryptic lines on social media, sparking speculation that they were taking sides or commenting on Drake's financial fallout. Friends of Drake allegedly said he noticed these posts and became increasingly anxious, consulting with PR and legal teams to assess whether the public perception was being influenced and whether another move from Kendrick could worsen the situation. Sources claim that Drake's team allegedly considered multiple options for a public response. Some advisors reportedly suggested a strategic music release to reclaim narrative control, while others pushed for silence, arguing that responding would amplify the drama and potentially make the $10 million loss more public. Friends reportedly described debates that lasted late into the night, with tempers flaring and voices raised, as the team tried to figure out the best way to protect Drake's reputation and financial interests. Adding to the tension, insiders claim that some of Drake's collaborators were reportedly hesitant to proceed with upcoming projects. Producers, co-writers, and featured artists allegedly asked if they should distance themselves, fearing association with someone who had just experienced such a massive public setback. Friends reportedly said this caused additional stress, as Drake had to reassure collaborators while simultaneously managing the financial and reputational fallout from the diss. Meanwhile, Kendrick's team allegedly kept dropping hints that more revelations could follow. Sources claim that cryptic social media messages and insider leaks suggested that the diss was only the first stage of a larger strategy to challenge Drake publicly and financially. Friends of Drake reportedly said that these hints caused renewed panic, leading to emergency strategy meetings and private calls with advisors, lawyers, and family members. The uncertainty, insiders say, made every decision feel critical, as even minor missteps could have massive consequences. Industry insiders reportedly suggested that the financial impact of the diss could be historic. One source allegedly said, "We're talking millions in lost streaming revenue, sponsorship deals in jeopardy, and partnerships reconsidered. This isn't just a musical issue, it's a financial earthquake for Drake." Friends allegedly confirmed that Drake spent long hours reviewing contracts, projecting losses, and coordinating with PR teams to prevent the story from spiraling even further. Family members reportedly stayed close, worried not just about money, but also the public perception of Drake's legacy. Meanwhile, fans were reportedly dissecting every lyric and line, trying to uncover hidden references to Drake's financial dealings. Social media threads exploded with speculation, memes, reaction videos, and deep dives analyzing potential losses and business implications. Some fans reportedly celebrated Kendrick's strategic brilliance, calling it the most ruthless diss ever, while others tried to defend Drake, claiming the numbers were exaggerated. According to insiders, this massive fan engagement only added pressure to Drake and his team, as the public's perception became almost as critical as the actual financial loss. Sources claim that private conversations within Drake's team reportedly revealed panic and disbelief. Late-night text exchanges allegedly included phrases like, "This is insane," and "We need a plan before this gets worse." Friends reportedly said Drake was unusually quiet, spending hours contemplating the financial fallout, the public reaction, and the potential next steps. Family members allegedly attempted to provide support, while advisors debated how best to mitigate the impact of Kendrick's diss without escalating the feud further. The situation reportedly reached a boiling point when insiders claim that some of Drake's major sponsors allegedly threatened to pause campaigns until the situation was clarified. Sources say that executives wanted reassurances that Drake's reputation and financial stability wouldn't be affected. And friends of Drake reportedly said this added a new level of urgency to the crisis. Meetings, phone calls, and text exchanges allegedly ran late into the night as the rapper tried to coordinate with family, advisors, and legal teams to navigate the unprecedented situation. By the following morning, sources claim the atmosphere around Drake reportedly grew even more tense. Friends allegedly described him as walking around his Los Angeles estate, phone in hand, reviewing text messages and emails from advisors, investors, and sponsors. Insiders say his eyes were reportedly red from sleepless nights, and every update from social media seemed to push him further into panic mode. One source said, "It was like watching someone on a tightrope. Every call, every message could tip him over, and he knew it." Meanwhile, Kendrick's diss continued to dominate streaming platforms, climbing charts rapidly while social media discussions exploded with theories about the financial fallout. Fans were reportedly dissecting every lyric, claiming to uncover hints about Drake's hidden assets and alleged failed deals, and the virality only added pressure to Drake's camp. Sources allege that Drake's family reportedly became even more vocal. Some members allegedly insisted he make a public response to save face, while others urged patience, warning that reacting hastily could make the $10 million loss appear worse than it already was. One insider described a heated exchange between Drake and his older sibling. Voices were raised. There were accusations of mismanagement and strategic errors. Emotions ran high, and for a moment, it felt like the family might split over how to handle this. Friends reportedly said Drake tried to remain composed, listening to advice, but internally struggling with anger and frustration at how a single track could create so much damage. Meanwhile, insiders claim Kendrick's team allegedly watched the drama unfold with calculated satisfaction. Sources say friends of Kendrick described private messages exchanged between him and his producers, allegedly joking about how every bar hit like a hammer and that the timing of the diss couldn't have been more perfect. Friends of Kendrick reportedly added that he deliberately timed the release when Drake had multiple upcoming business ventures, ensuring that speculation would hit sponsors, investors, and streaming platforms simultaneously. Fans reportedly reacted with amazement, posting reaction videos and breakdowns that dissected every lyric, further fueling the narrative of Drake's alleged $10 million loss. According to insiders, Drake reportedly spent hours in emergency meetings with his management team. One source said, "They were trying to do damage control, but the panic was contagious. People were shouting, calculations were being redone repeatedly, and tempers flared. It was like chaos on repeat." Friends allegedly added that Drake was unusually reflective, reportedly muttering, "How did he know all this?" while reviewing contracts and investment reports to pinpoint exactly what could be affected by Kendrick's words. Family members reportedly hovered nearby, some offering advice, others trying to calm him while secretly fearing that the situation could spiral further out of control. Sources claim that some of Drake's major collaborators reportedly began expressing hesitation about ongoing projects. Producers, featured artists, and co-writers allegedly asked whether it was wise to proceed with certain tracks, worried that being associated with someone who just suffered a massive public setback could affect their own reputations. Friends of Drake reportedly said he had to reassure them while simultaneously managing his own panic, adding another layer of pressure as he navigated both professional relationships and the fallout from Kendrick's diss. Meanwhile, insiders allege that private discussions with executives reportedly revealed a near-panic situation. Some sponsors were allegedly reconsidering campaigns, while investors reportedly demanded detailed briefings to assess potential exposure. According to sources, Drake spent hours coordinating with financial advisors and legal teams, recalculating projected losses, and reviewing streaming data to anticipate the full impact. Friends reportedly described him as unusually meticulous, spending hours reviewing every detail while family members debated whether to intervene publicly or remain silent. Adding to the drama, social media reportedly became a battleground. Fans allegedly dissected every lyric analyzed every social media post, and circulated memes depicting Drake losing money or being exposed. According to insiders, some fans even claim to have decoded hidden references in Kendrick's track, sparking debates over Drake's alleged failed investments. Friends of Drake reportedly said that this constant online scrutiny only worsened the stress, as public perception began influencing sponsors, investors, and collaborators. Sources claim that late-night private meetings reportedly escalated further. Advisors allegedly suggested potential responses, including a musical comeback, a calculated public statement, or total silence. Friends reportedly said Drake was unusually quiet, listening intently to options while internally debating the best course of action. Family members allegedly pushed for decisive action, while some advisors warned against any move that could make the $10 million loss appear more severe. According to insiders, these tensions led to long, heated discussions, with voices raised and tempers flaring, as the team tried to coordinate a strategy in the middle of a storm. Meanwhile, insiders claim that Kendrick's camp continued to fan the flames. Sources suggest they allegedly leaked subtle hints on social media, referencing "timing is everything" and "precision counts," sparking speculation about further diss tracks or public revelations. Friends of Drake reportedly said these hints caused renewed anxiety, leading to emergency strategy calls and long hours of reviewing potential legal, financial, and public responses. The suspense, insiders say, made every decision critical, as even minor missteps could have cascading consequences. Adding to the tension, private industry discussions reportedly revealed that some of Drake's major sponsors were allegedly reconsidering deals. Executives reportedly wanted reassurances about reputation and stability, causing additional pressure on Drake to act decisively. Friends allegedly described the rapper holding long sessions with advisors, trying to assess both immediate and long-term impacts of the diss track, while family members monitored his stress, worried not just about finances, but the potential public fallout. Sources claim that the diss track allegedly had far-reaching implications beyond just Drake and Kendrick. Insiders suggest that streaming platforms, radio stations, and playlist curators reportedly reacted to public sentiment, adjusting exposure and promotion, which allegedly affected Drake's projected revenue streams in real time. Friends of Drake reportedly said that the rapper spent hours reviewing these metrics, trying to anticipate every ripple effect, while advisors scrambled to mitigate potential financial and reputational damage. Meanwhile, fans reportedly turned the feud into a global spectacle. Social media threads exploded with speculation, memes, and reaction videos, many analyzing Drake's financial vulnerability and alleged missteps. According to insiders, the virality of these posts added enormous pressure, as public perception increasingly influenced both sponsors and collaborators. Friends of Drake reportedly described him as unusually quiet, deeply focused on both calculating losses and planning potential responses, while family members debated how much information should be released publicly. Insiders also claim that private discussions between Drake and his financial advisors allegedly revealed panic over the $10 million loss. Friends reportedly said that he reviewed contracts line by line, recalculated projected revenue, and brainstormed strategies to mitigate both public perception and financial fallout. Meanwhile, Kendrick's camp allegedly observed every development, reportedly celebrating the success of the diss and anticipating future opportunities to further impact Drake's career and public image. Sources claim that in addition to financial fallout, the diss allegedly created tension among Drake's collaborators. Producers, co-writers, and featured artists reportedly voiced concern about ongoing projects, worried about being associated with someone experiencing such public scrutiny. Friends of Drake allegedly said he spent hours calming collaborators while simultaneously strategizing with advisors, trying to contain the growing storm. Family members reportedly stayed close, offering guidance and emotional support while monitoring how the public narrative was evolving. Meanwhile, insiders suggest that Kendrick's team reportedly continued to drop cryptic hints online, fueling speculation about further developments. Social media reportedly erupted with theories, memes, and analyses, with fans dissecting every lyric and post for hidden references to Drake's financial dealings. Friends of Drake reportedly said he observed these developments closely, consulting with PR teams to determine how to navigate the unfolding drama while protecting his reputation and mitigating financial damage. Industry insiders reportedly indicated that the fallout from the diss could have long-term implications. One source allegedly said, "This isn't just a musical diss. It's affecting millions in projected revenue, sponsorship deals, and partnerships." Drake's camp is scrambling to respond, but the impact is already visible. Friends allegedly confirmed that Drake spent countless hours reviewing contracts, recalculating losses, and coordinating with advisors to stabilize the situation, while family members monitored his stress and debated whether to intervene publicly or privately. As the hours reportedly passed, insiders claim the pressure on Drake continued to escalate. Sources suggest that each new social media post, cryptic message, or fan theory added to the urgency, forcing Drake and his team to constantly reevaluate their strategy. Friends reportedly described him as focused but visibly stressed, spending long hours analyzing every possible scenario and potential response, while family members argued over the best course of action. Meanwhile, Kendrick's camp allegedly observed each development with quiet satisfaction, reportedly preparing for any next move that could further impact Drake's reputation and finances. By the time night fell, insiders claim that Drake's estate reportedly resembled a war room more than a home. Advisors, managers, and family members were allegedly gathered, laptops open, phones buzzing nonstop, as they tried to parse the fallout from Kendrick's diss track. Friends of Drake reportedly described the scene as chaotic and tense, with emotions running higher than ever. According to sources, tempers reportedly flared multiple times, with managers arguing over whether to release a statement, delay upcoming releases, or prepare a musical response. Drake himself was allegedly pacing, occasionally muttering, "This isn't just music. This is my life, my reputation, everything." Friends reportedly said that even the normally composed rapper appeared visibly rattled, flipping between anger, frustration, and strategic calculation. Insiders claim that some of Drake's closest collaborators reportedly held private meetings, questioning whether they should continue with projects tied to him. Producers allegedly expressed concern over brand association, co-writers reportedly debated moral and business implications, and featured artists allegedly contemplated distancing themselves temporarily. Friends reportedly said that Drake personally intervened, calming tensions while simultaneously reviewing contracts and projecting potential revenue losses. According to insiders, he reportedly spent hours recalculating how Kendrick's diss had impacted everything from sponsorships to streaming royalties, trying to prevent the rumored $10 million loss from turning into something far worse. Meanwhile, Kendrick's camp allegedly monitored every development in real time. Sources suggest that friends of Kendrick were reportedly giddy with excitement as updates from social media and industry insiders kept confirming the chaos within Drake's camp. According to insiders, the diss track wasn't just about lyrics. It was strategic, targeting Drake's credibility, finances, and influence simultaneously. Fans reportedly dissected every bar, every social media post, and every subtle reference, spreading speculation about potential ripple effects on Drake's albums, tour, and endorsement deals. Some even claimed that the diss exposed the cracks in Drake's empire, fueling a frenzy across TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. According to sources, private communications between Drake and his management team allegedly escalated into heated arguments. Advisors reportedly shouted over conference calls, debating the merits of a public statement versus silence, while legal teams allegedly reviewed contracts in case any explicit references in Kendrick's track violated non-disclosure agreements or insider agreements. Friends reportedly said Drake himself was uncharacteristically quiet, listening to advice, but internally struggling with feelings of betrayal and frustration. Family members allegedly tried to mediate, warning that any hasty response could make the $10 million loss even more public and damaging. Sources claim that in the midst of the turmoil, an unexpected leak allegedly hit social media. Someone reportedly posted screenshots of private messages and financial projections, allegedly suggesting that Drake's losses could be even higher than $10 million. Friends of Drake reportedly said that the leak caused immediate panic, forcing the rapper and his team to convene an emergency strategy session. According to insiders, tempers reportedly flared as people argued over whether to go on the offensive, delete the leaks, or attempt damage control quietly. The situation reportedly left Drake visibly stressed, pacing, and muttering numbers under his breath, friends said, while family members tried to calm the storm both publicly and privately. Meanwhile, sources suggest that Kendrick allegedly hinted at a follow-up track, which reportedly amplified Drake's anxiety. Friends of Drake allegedly said that he spent hours analyzing potential lyrics, social media patterns, and cryptic posts, preparing for every possible escalation. Insiders claim that Kendrick's strategy wasn't merely musical, it was psychological, designed to provoke maximum reaction and uncertainty, putting Drake on edge both financially and emotionally. Fans reportedly noticed every detail, sharing theories and creating viral threads about the feud's potential impact on streaming, endorsements, and public perception. According to insiders, Drake reportedly held multiple emergency meetings with sponsors and investors. Executives allegedly demanded reassurances about stability, and some reportedly threatened to pause campaigns until the situation clarified. Friends of Drake allegedly said the rapper spent hours coordinating with financial advisors and lawyers, reviewing potential scenarios, and recalculating projected losses. Family members reportedly stayed close, monitoring stress levels and providing advice, even as disagreements emerged over the best way to handle the crisis. Adding to the tension, sources claim that the media reportedly jumped on the story, amplifying the diss's impact. Articles, videos, and social media posts analyzed every lyric, every bar, and every potential financial implication. Friends reportedly said Drake's team struggled to contain the narrative, as public perception rapidly began affecting sponsorships, streaming numbers, and brand partnerships. Insiders described the atmosphere as a pressure cooker, with each passing hour adding more urgency to every decision, every call, and every potential public move. Meanwhile, private discussions among Drake's inner circle allegedly revealed increasing panic. Some reportedly suggested a musical response to reclaim narrative control, while others pushed for silence, arguing that public statements could escalate the financial fallout. Friends reportedly described Drake as unusually contemplative, weighing every potential scenario, while family members argued over whether to intervene publicly. Insiders say the tension reportedly reached its peak during late-night strategy sessions, with phones constantly buzzing and advisors working frantically to manage the evolving crisis. Sources claim that collaborators reportedly voiced concern over continuing projects tied to Drake. Producers allegedly feared negative association, co-writers debated ethical implications, and featured artists allegedly considered distancing themselves. Friends of Drake reportedly said he personally reassured everyone while reviewing contracts and analyzing streaming projections, trying to prevent the rumored $10 million loss from worsening. Meanwhile, Kendrick's team allegedly celebrated the disruption, monitoring social media reactions and noting that every public speculation reinforced the narrative of Drake's exposed vulnerabilities. According to insiders, Drake reportedly received advice to take immediate action or risk further financial damage. Options reportedly included releasing a public statement, producing a musical rebuttal, or maintaining strategic silence. Friends allegedly said he spent hours evaluating each choice, considering both short-term and long-term consequences. Family members reportedly participated in discussions, providing input while debating the potential impact of each action. Sources claim that tempers flared as advisors disagreed, raising voices and arguing passionately over the best course of action. Meanwhile, social media reportedly continued to explode with speculation. Fans dissected every lyric, meme, and cryptic post, interpreting hidden references to Drake's finances, investments, and sponsorships. According to insiders, this fueled panic within Drake's team, as public perception increasingly influenced industry partners and collaborators. Friends of Drake reportedly said the rapper spent long hours monitoring these developments, consulting with PR teams, and preparing for every possible outcome. Sources claim that private financial advisors reportedly warned Drake about potential long-term consequences. They allegedly highlighted risks to streaming revenue, endorsement deals, and upcoming album campaigns. Friends reportedly said he spent hours recalculating projections, coordinating with lawyers, and considering strategies to mitigate damage. Meanwhile, Kendrick's camp allegedly continued to drop hints of additional strategic moves, keeping Drake and his team on edge. Fans reportedly amplified the tension, creating viral content that dissected lyrics, referenced financial implications, and fueled online debates about who won the diss battle. Insiders also claim that Drake's family reportedly debated whether to intervene publicly or remain silent. Some allegedly pushed for a statement to reassure sponsors and collaborators, while others warned that acknowledgement could worsen the narrative and make the $10 million loss more visible. Friends reportedly described heated discussions, with voices raised and tempers flaring, as the team attempted to navigate an unprecedented crisis. Meanwhile, social media reportedly fueled the pressure, as fans speculated about Drake's next move, the financial fallout, and potential musical retaliation. According to sources, the tension reached a climax when insiders claim that a major leak allegedly circulated online, suggesting that Drake's losses could be even higher than initially reported. Friends of Drake reportedly said that the leak forced the team into emergency meetings, debating immediate responses, damage control, and strategies to protect both finances and reputation. Family members allegedly monitored the situation closely, offering advice and trying to calm Drake while arguments erupted over the best course of action. Meanwhile, insiders claim Kendrick's camp allegedly remained calm and calculated. Sources say friends of Kendrick were reportedly observing the chaos, noting that every leak, post, and social media reaction played into their larger strategy. Fans reportedly engaged in nonstop analysis, dissecting lyrics, financial implications, and rumored intentions, which amplified the viral nature of the feud and intensified pressure on Drake's team. Friends of Drake allegedly described him as unusually focused yet visibly stressed, spending hours reviewing contracts, potential responses, and contingency plans. According to insiders, collaborators reportedly continued to express concern about ongoing projects. Producers allegedly worried about association, co-writers debated ethics, and featured artists allegedly considered stepping back. Friends reportedly said Drake personally reassured collaborators while reviewing contracts, recalculating projected revenue, and monitoring social media to gauge public sentiment. Meanwhile, Kendrick's team allegedly celebrated the strategic brilliance of their move, noting the ripple effect on Drake's finances and reputation. Finally, sources claim that by the early hours, Drake allegedly convened a final strategy session with his core advisors and family. Friends reportedly said he was determined, though visibly stressed, as they debated the next move. Whether to respond musically, make a public statement, or wait in silence for the story to die down. Insiders described the scene as intense, with voices raised, phones buzzing, and emotions at an all-time high, leaving everyone wondering how this feud could possibly conclude. So, what does this all mean for Drake? Fans are still in shock, debating whether this $10 million loss is real, exaggerated, or just the tip of the iceberg. Sources claim that while Drake is quietly regrouping behind closed doors, the ripple effects of Kendrick's diss are still reverberating across the industry. Collaborators, sponsors, and investors allegedly remain cautious. Streaming numbers are reportedly fluctuating, and the online discourse shows no signs of slowing down. Even insiders admit that the tension is far from over. Some suggest that Kendrick's strategic move may have set off a chain reaction that could redefine power dynamics in hip-hop for years to come. The family is reportedly still divided, advisors are allegedly exhausted, and Drake himself is reportedly plotting the next move in silence, carefully considering every option while fans dissect each tiny update. Meanwhile, the online world is on fire. Memes, TikTok breakdowns, YouTube reaction videos, and viral threads continue to dominate feeds as fans argue endlessly about who came out on top. Some say Drake is humiliated. Others insist he will bounce back stronger than ever. and nearly everyone is speculating about a potential musical response, or even a private showdown behind the scenes. Industry insiders reportedly say they've never witnessed a situation quite like this, with a diss track allegedly impacting both reputation and finances so simultaneously. Emotions ran high, theories are still swirling, and every new social media post is analyzed for hidden meanings, creating what some are calling the most intense rap drama of the decade. Now, it's up to you, the fans. Do you think Drake can recover from this multi-million-dollar hit? Will Kendrick continue to dominate this feud, or is a surprise comeback brewing? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because we want to hear your take. And don't forget to hit that like button if you were shocked by these developments. Subscribe for more breaking rap news, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next chapter in this explosive saga. The drama is far from over, and trust us, you'll want to be here for every twist, leak, and reaction as this story continues to unfold. The question now is simple. Who really won this battle? And what's next for Drake in the wake of Kendrick's devastating move?